So there's this quiet kind of discomfort that comes with being a beginner again, especially when you've already proven yourself once. You know that feeling when you built something, earned recognition, and finally felt steady. And then life hands you a new season where most of that might not even matter anymore. And that's where I found myself not too long ago. So after years of building my freelance business, leading a team, and finding my rhythm, I thought I'd finally arrived. Then I started new things again. This one, for example, a YouTube channel, a special project that has really been very close to my heart, which is the sustainable freelancing. And suddenly I was back at square one. And it messed with me more than I expected. See, when you've been doing something for years, you develop a quiet confidence and sometimes a quiet ego too. You get used to being someone who knows what to do, the one people look to for answers. So when you're back to figuring out the lighting, the angles, how the algorithm works, it is very humbling to say the least. And not the poetic kind of humbling. The kind where you sit there thinking, why is this taking me an hour when it should only take me 15 minutes? That's what being a beginner did for me. It made me confront the parts of myself that were addicted to being good at things, the parts that only felt secure when I was achieving each one. I grew up equating achievement with being impressive. Early in my career, achievement meant promotions, raises, titles, or measurable proof that I was moving forward. Even in freelancing, my first few years were all about milestones, signing new clients, hitting revenue goals, expanding my team. Don't take me wrong, it was not bad. I was definitely proud of it. But at some point, the chase become louder than the joy. So when I started exploring something new, YouTube, storytelling, content creation, and no one was clapping yet, my brain panicked. Because to me, achievement had always come with an applause. And at this time, it was just me, my camera right now, and a whole lot of silence. Being a beginner again stripped away the external noise. No metrics to compare, no benchmarks to hide behind. Just me learning how to create for the sake of creating, failing quietly, starting small, and trying again. And you know what? It reintroduced me to something that I lost along the way: curiosity. When you are new, you are allowed to experiment. You don't expect perfection. You just want to see, what is possible. And that shift from I should already know this to I get to learn this changed the way I approach everything, especially in business. When I started YouTube this year, I had to fight that loud internal voice that kept saying, "You've been in business for years, MJ. What if people don't take you seriously because you are starting small?" That's the dangerous part about achievement. It can trap you in your own success. You start avoiding things that make you look like you're back at level one. But once I stopped needing every video to perform well, I started to enjoy the process again. It reminded me that creating without pressure is a kind of freedom that metrics can never measure. And ironically, when I stopped obsessing over doing it right, that's when people started connecting to what I was actually saying. So now, whenever I start something new, I always try to keep these 3 small reminders with me. You can take notes, you can even save this video and also share it with some of your dear friends. Reminder number 1, don't rush mastery. Mastery doesn't come from speed. It comes from staying curious long enough to notice what others overlook. So I'm going to give an example. Now, if I'm going to compare my design expertise now compared to when I started, I would be shocked, humbled, and even amazed. Because in my lens back then, my designs were already good. But now, with the level of design that I'm creating, if I compare it, I would say, what was I thinking before? It's not that I am judging how I started, but this is one example that if you want to master or really be good at something, you need to put in the work. You can't just say or even wish magically that this is what's going to happen to me tomorrow, next week, next month. It just doesn't happen that way. Reminder number 2, detach from your old proof. The version of you who thrived before paved the way for this new one, but he or she does not need to drive anymore. Sometimes being a beginner again is how we honor that growth. So if I'm going to relate that to my experience, the version of me who paved the way for me to be where I'm at now, I am thankful for her. I am thankful for her sacrifices, for the late nights, for the constant push to be better and not to compare myself with everyone else. I really, really love that version of me. But at the same time, if I just wanted to stay there, I would have never explored YouTube, for example, because I just have this fear of what if I'm going to say the wrong thing? What if no one is going to watch? What if no one is going to listen? All of the negative what ifs. So the new version of me this year just went for it. And it's not that I didn't care anymore. Of course, the loud critics are still there, but at the same time, I don't let that version drive anymore, primarily because this version of me is who decided to just go for this new beginning. Reminder number 3, create private wins. Not everything needs to be shared, contrary to popular belief or societal expectations. Some achievements are meant to stay sacred. The quiet kind, where you know you did something brave, even if nobody saw it, even if nobody heard of it. And I'm also a firm believer that what others don't know, they cannot destroy, especially if you are beginning with a new journey. It can be freelance, it can be a different business, it can be literally anything, because I've experienced that firsthand, that the moment I was so excited to share, I didn't know back then, but it was the weight of their expectations for me to continue to perform, continue to achieve what I shared that I would really want to achieve. That really puts so much pressure on me. And at the same time, there's this uncommunicated, yet they somehow expressed their negativity, unfortunately. So I wish that you would never experience that. But this is kind of like a disclaimer on creating private wins. Like, not all wins need to be shared, because not everyone understands why you consider that as a win. And not everyone gets it. Not everyone can see the vision that you can see. Not everyone can see the possibilities of why you're starting this one. But everyone can say something negative. Everyone can project their fear and insecurities. So this is what this reminder is all about. Being a beginner again reminded me that achievement isn't always about stacking trophies, collecting awards. I mean, those are good, don't get me wrong. But it's also about staying alive in your own life, willing to explore, willing to fail, willing to start again. These days, I still love achieving things, I won't lie, but I've learned to hold it more lightly, to let curiosity lead more than pressure, because maybe the goal isn't always about leveling up. Maybe it's to keep coming whole to the version of yourself that's not afraid to begin again. So if you are someone who is starting a business, someone who's trying to be a virtual assistant, someone who's trying the freelance world, it's okay to be a beginner. It's okay to feel like you haven't figured it out. It's okay to feel overwhelmed with all the information, with all the things that you need to do. But then take your time. So one of my favorite songs, especially when I was in college juggling both work and studies, is from Jordan Sparks, where the title is One Step at a Time. Because when you focus on the entire mountain, the entire journey, your fear will tell you you can never do it. But when you focus on that step in front of you, can I take this step today? Tomorrow, another step? And maybe the next week I can take 2 steps, it feels lighter. And another thing that I also want to share with you is, do not expect support. Do not expect the kind of support that you are very much willing to give to someone who's starting, because you will only be disappointed. When you are a beginner, try to put your head down. Take this time to learn everything that you need to know, because someday you are also going to be at the end of this video, because before I was at the other end of the screen. I was the one watching the YouTube videos, the YouTube tutorials. And right now, I am on the other end of the screen. I am now the one encouraging you or encouraging other people to just start. Until then, keep showing up, stay curious, and trust that you are building a freelance business that's both sustainable and aligned with who you are. See you in the next one. Explore and learn more about the freelancing world by downloading my free guide called the Freelance Starter Kit. It's available in the description box below. Make sure that your email address is active, and please check both your inbox and spam folders after you're done signing up. You'll also see a link where you can submit your questions about freelancing so I can talk more about those in my upcoming videos. Thank you and see ya!